As we've mentioned, the OSHA Act authorizes OSHA-compliant safety and health officers, CSHOs, to conduct workplace inspections to determine if workers can perform their jobs in a safe and healthy way. Since OSHA can't inspect all of the 8 million work sites that they're responsible for, the agency has a system of inspection priorities that includes imminent danger situations, situations where fatalities or catastrophes have occurred, complaints and referrals, and regularly scheduled programmed inspections that address targeted hazards. There are 4 major stages in an OSHA inspection: presenting credentials, the opening conference, the walk-around, and the closing conference. When they arrive at a workplace to do an inspection, the inspector first presents their credentials to the person in charge. Then comes the opening conference, which will usually be brief. The inspector will explain why OSHA has selected that particular worksite for inspection, obtain information about the company, including copies of all hazard assessments, and explain the scope of the inspection as well as the procedures that will be followed. The inspector, along with the employer and worker representatives, will then proceed through the workplace, looking at work areas to determine if there are any potentially hazardous conditions. The inspector will also check the facility's injury and illness records, make sure that the required OSHA poster is displayed, and verify that the company's summary of work-related injuries and illnesses is posted from February 1st to April 30th each year. The inspector may also interview workers, take photographs or video, and monitor worker exposure to noise, air contaminants, or other substances. After the walk-around, the inspector will hold a closing conference with the employer and worker representatives. They will discuss any apparent violations that they have observed and how and when these violations should be corrected. The employer will be informed of their rights and responsibilities regarding the inspection as well. Once they're back in their office, the inspector will write up a report of their findings. The OSHA Area Director will then review the report and make a final determination as to what citations and penalties should be imposed, if any. Citations inform employers and employees about what violations exist and what OSHA standards are involved, what hazardous working conditions have been found, how long the employer has to correct or abate the hazards, and explain any proposed penalties. Penalties are based on the type of violation that has occurred. OSHA violations fall into 6 categories, including repeated, willful, serious, other than serious, and de minimis. De minimis is the least serious type of infraction and basically means a trifling matter. Employers and workers both have the right to disagree with or appeal parts of an OSHA citation. Workers may contest the length of time that has been given to the employer to abate a violation, but they cannot contest the citations or penalties themselves. If an employer decides to contest a citation, the abatement date, or the proposed penalty, this must be done in writing within a 15 working day contest period.